twist up ahead. Ladies and gentlemen, your next stop, the Brady Zone.
The Brady Zone.
Thank you for joining us today, this afternoon. Have you been having fun out in the park? And we have been having a great time here as well. We've got, I think, some fun things coming up in the show for you today. I brought along what I call the best of clips that my Brady mates and I are going to talk about. You know, the stuff like maybe you've heard of "Oh My Nose, My Nose," and "What Don't You Do in the House?" Exactly. Peter never listened to Mom. That was always a problem for us. But Chris Knight is here today, as is our youngest one in curls, Susan Olsen. And I'm going to bring them out in just a minute. Now, a little bit later in the show, for those of you that are brave enough to try this, to learn the choreography to Sunshine Day, if you think you can handle it, I'll give you a chance to come up on stage with me and become an honorary Brady for life. All right, but first, the first thing I want to do is to give us, show you a little bit of why we are here. We are celebrating our 40th anniversary of the first time the Bradys came to Kings Island. And Kings Island was just a baby at the time, only 2 years old, and baby, look what she looked like then. Doesn't get better than that, does it? Well, maybe Diamondback, a lot of people have going on too. There are a lot of great roller coasters here, a lot of great rides. It's a great, great amusement park to visit, to be a part of. And without further ado, please welcome Susan Olsen. We love Brady because he gives us a chance to get together as well, although we see each other fairly often. Look how many wonderful friends we have here at Kings Island.
That's just great.
It's awesome, isn't it?
It is. It is. But, you know, people in Ohio are great.
Oh, boy, you sure know how to win them over.
But I mean it. I have a lot of friends from Ohio. Fine people.
So tell us what you've been doing. What you been doing over the last couple of months, couple of years, couple of decades?
Well, I'm a mom. I'm an artist. I have a line of artwork that helps support the animal rescue that I do. It's called The Art of Rescue by Susan Olsen, and you can find it on Facebook and see what I'm doing there. I have a radio show Monday nights on latalkradio.com. It's called Two Chicks Talking Politics. And what else? Oh, and I teach acting to kids in California.
I think you're just leaving just one person out.
Oh, I said I'm a mom.
But you didn't tell us about Michael.
Well, he's 16.
Is that enough said?
It gets a little hard. He's got a mohawk and he's in a punk band.
Perfect. Well, I know you've been very busy, and I know she's very, very actively committed to the rescue of animals, and sometimes I've been over at her house to meet her 27 kittens at the same time.
Yeah, well, I used to do foster parenting for little bottle babies. And then when they're weaned, when they're big enough to be spayed and neutered, that's important, then they get adopted.
But we have another Brady mate that is here today, and I'd like to bring him out. And now both of them are going to be helping talk about the clips and the things that are coming on in between. But let's meet him right now. Mr.
The guy that adopted 2 cats from me, Christopher Knight.
Two cats that shed all over me.
You said shed, right?
I did. I might be a troublemaker, but I do that in good taste.
Chris, it's nice to have you here.
Thank you.
Ladies.
Thank you, Cincinnati. It's been 39 years, 11 months, and 5 days since I've been to Kings Island and Cincinnati, and I can see that it's grown up. Thank you for the warm welcome.
This is your first time back in Ohio since we filmed the Cincinnati Kids?
I have missed landing here.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, see what you're missing. Don't wait
I know,
around so long.
Yeah. I won't.
So, Mr. Fair Brady, some of you know what I'm referring to. But what
That
else?
was my very own sort of life of pie journey.
Yes.
Okay? Living with a very wild, beautiful, slightly dangerous animal.
There are a lot of people that don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, I won't go any further. My ex-wife.
He married America's Next Top Model. It's all right. There was just a 26-year age difference. They went on Dr. Phil to work it out. Dr. Phil thought his wife was his daughter, and anyway, it didn't turn out to. It's over now.
She didn't appreciate when you grounded her, right?
What was that? And the dynamic begins. Okay. Anything else you'd like to tell us?
Dr. Phil thought I was wrong.
Really?
That you were wrong?
What was that? Oh, about getting married?
No, about the whole thing, anything. Just found out he's just
He likes girls.
obviously. So where are we going with this?
I think we're
Just made a left turn.
Give a sense of what you've been doing. And what
I've
you're
been,
doing now.
I keep 2 lives.
In and out of show business.
Right. When I came back into show business from having left it behind, being in the high-tech industry in 2001, I decided I'd come back into the entertainment industry without giving up the business life that I'd also been living. So now I've been sort of living in 2 different worlds. Just recently started a furniture brand, writing my autobiography, which is sort of being a Brady, which is very all-American, and then being from a family who's very much not the Brady Bunch. So that's
Whose
my
family
juxtaposition.
is like the
I was
Brady Bunch?
being in show business helped me, which is an odd thing, and having them as my brothers and sisters sort of was a good thing, actually, as it turns out.
But a lot of people experience that. I've even heard from psychiatrists that have used our show in.
No, what I'm saying is I don't think a parent should allow their kid to go into show business to find help.
No.
You know,
I
it's
think
normally
it's
where you
better
go
to watch
sideways,
Brady
but in
Bunch.
my case it helped.
But the people that have watched the Brady Bunch have been helped.
Barry's getting bored, Susan.
I just want to give the audience something else to do. And you know what I'd like to do is I'd like to involve you a little bit. Let me start it out this way by explaining that our show almost never made it onto television. And the reason was the network felt that our show premise was too complicated and would require a full episode every week just to explain all these kids got to living together in the same house. So our creator went into the hallway during this meeting and he wrote down the words to our theme song. And he came back and he waved the piece of paper at the executives and he said, look, I can explain this show and what it's about with the opening credits. Here's the story. So if you remember it, I'd like to show it and I'd like to hear all of us sing it. Here's the theme song that got us on television.
Here's the story of a lovely lady who was bringing up three very lovely girls. All of them had hair of gold, like their mother, the youngest one in curls. Here's the story.
I can't hear you.
Who was busy with three boys and girls. They were four men living all together. Yet they were all of us. Till the one day when the lady left the cellar, and they knew it was much more than that this group was somehow for a family. That's the way we all became the Brady Bunch. The Brady Bunch. The Brady Bunch. That's the way we became the Brady Bunch.
One of the nice things about working on our show was the fact that the writers actually used parts of our real personalities to develop our characters. Although it quickly became apparent who the troublemakers were. Right, Chris? If something went wrong on our show, pretty much be sure it was Peter's fault. Don't believe me? Check out this clip and see if it reminds you of anything.
Say, Pete, Brady intercepts and goes for a shot. Oh, no. Mom's favorite
All together
base.
now.
She always says, don't play
Don't
all
in the
night.
house.
Being schooled by your younger brother.
Do you ever listen to your mom?
Not a case.
Kids, I hope you do. How about this? How about when Peter lost his entire personality? And he took on another one that belonged to a legendary film star. Who was that film star? Humphrey Bogart. I don't know how you ever pulled this off. I thought I was watching Humphrey Bogart on the set in the kitchen with Mom and Alice.
Hey, Mom. Hi, Alice. What's for dinner? Pork chops. Pork chops. What else? Applesauce? Pork chops and applesauce. That's swell.
But it worked out just fine.
Now, like all families, we had our own dynamics and things that we had to work through on the show. But honestly, and I'm asking, can ours be the only family that suffers from sibling rivalry? Oh. And in our case, I think that went to Jan, who seemed always to be just a teeny weeny bit envious of her older sister.
Well, all I hear all day long in school is how great Marsha is at this, or how wonderful Marsha did that. Marsha, Marsha, Marsha.
Marsha, Marsha, Marsha. It's always Marsha. Well, that playing field got leveled not too long after that. Now, when, a couple of the Brady boys went into the backyard to throw the football. So, ending with, pretty funny results, I thought. Who knows who actually threw the football that landed on Marsha's nose? Or as I refer to it,
They give me all the fun stuff.
the troublemaker. Let's check it out.
Hey, you guys.
I got to edit that.
why do I get such a kick out of that? I still do. It's like one of my finest moments.
She was just too perfect in some ways.
It just was. Yeah. I'm sorry. She's wonderful, but you know, Maureen and I drove in every day together because her mom couldn't drive when we were neighbors, so I knew Maureen very well. Better than
She's
you.
like
I
a
know.
sister.
In what way? Well, she told me I was her first.
I just knew how she thought.
Okay. I'll go with that. For the first 3 years of our show, we were kind of stuck on the sound stage all day, every day, from the time the sun came up till just after it went down. And we didn't really know anybody, we didn't really get out, but one day we got news from the network that the entire Brady family was going on vacation to... Very cool, except that while surfing I had to wear the bad luck tiki.
Wow, Dick's really doing great. Naturally, he's my good luck charm.
Listen. When you hear doodle-doo-doo, wah, get out of the water. All I can tell you.
Now, Barry, tell us about this one episode where you had to wear a suit that didn't fit too well, as it turned out. But it seems, actually, I'm hearing that you actually wear it.
He
All
has
the
one in
time.
his closet.
Are you talking about now or then?
Yes. No, you wear it now.
I wear it now.
Well, I'm doing I think what he's referring to is I have a show that I do in Branson, Missouri, called 70s Music Celebration. And I am having the time of my life. It's my third season in Branson, my first season with this show. Big live band, live cast. It is the entire decade delivered in music, in all its styles, in all its varieties, and I'm having a great time with it. 70s Music Celebration. But the episode that kind of kicked all of that off was the, do you remember the Toreador? Adios, Johnny Bravo. Well, the Brady Bunch kids had to try out, you know, for the talent agent there, and with a kind of a cute little love song, and everybody, well, danced as best as we ever could dance behind me. And well, let's take a look at it. And in fact, I'll sing along. Flowers.
My life was always out of tune. I found something beautiful was missing that day. Now there's music coming out of every room. You got to be in love to love another song. Yeah, you got to be like I love you, and I can do your love in my song. I just got to sing along with you. Now and now, that every sound is music. The trees that whisper softly away. Some raindrops tapping on the sidewalk. You
said, I don't want the suit.
Johnny Bravo lives.
Well, you know, there are 3 Brady Bunch kids that couldn't join us this afternoon. Can you tell which ones they were? Who they are? Who? Marsha and Jan and Bob. Right. Maureen and Eve and Mike could not be here today. But I talked to them and I said, would it be all right if I brought some photos, some up-to-date photos, and we talked about what you're doing. And then Chris quickly reminded me that we could make up stuff. And it didn't have to be flattering or anything. I'd like to take just a couple of minutes. In fact, I'll start, if you don't mind, with Maureen. Maureen McCormick has been married for 23 years to the same wonderful guy. You're looking at her twin, her mini-me. That is her daughter, Natalie, who looks just as gorgeous as she was when she would start doing the show. She's still pretty now. And looks like her nose is healed.
I think the nose, I did a good job on it.
Yeah. Well, at least it's holding up the glasses.
First nose job.
She devotes a lot of her time to a wonderful charity that helps mentally and physically challenged kids called Best Buddies, and continues to work in show business. And she's still one of our best friends. And I speak to her about, oh gosh, every couple 3 weeks. Now, why don't you tell us about Michael?
Well, Michael Lookinland has been married for, I believe, 25 years or more to the same wonderful woman, Kelly. And they have 2 sons, Scotty and Joey, although they're now grown adults. And Mike has his own business. He is an artisan. He works with his hands. He does architectural poured concrete, and it ends up looking like granite and marble. It's really beautiful stuff. And if you're interested, you should go to his website. His company is called Just Add Water. I think it's justaddwater.us. Oh wow, just Google it. .us. Okay.
Look up Michael Lookinland. You'll find it.
Yeah. Not too many Lookinlands in the world.
He's got quite a postal bill, I know that. He's got to be shipping these concrete countertops all around the country. Eve Plum.
So
did you not date her? Really? For the Lord, we just...
Didn't you date Florence?
Never.
And Maureen?
Not going about. It's all right. Just be quiet and listen. Yes. No, and could have. Not necessarily in that order.
Eve, the reluctant Brady, lives in New York now. Actually, she's re-energized her acting career after spending 30 years as an artist. Actually, in this picture, you'll see one of her pieces of art. She's a fine artist. Behind her, she actually shows in galleries all over the country. But now living in New York, and that's a recent change. I think it's been only 18 months or so now that she's been living in New York. But she's thriving there, doing theater, and again, applying her acting skills. In fact, I just heard that she's doing a guest star on, what's the name of the show?
Army Wives.
Army Wives.
And we just saw her.
And we just saw her 2 months ago. We were all in New York, and we had an opportunity to have dinner with her. And she hasn't looked better, in fact. She's married now, going on 18 years to a great guy named Ken. They have no children. But he's a really fine guy, and all very close friends. So, matter of fact, one of the things that's unique about us, I mean, it's been 45 years since we started the show, but I have known them for 45 years, you know, so I don't know anybody else in my life other than my own brothers and sisters, as long as I've known Barry and Susan, Eve, Maureen, and Michael. So, they're truly good friends.
We're family.
Even if they're not here, that doesn't speak about the relationships. It just speaks about their not being here.
So, you have one son, and Eve has no children, and Maureen has one daughter, and Michael has 2 sons, and you have no children. That would leave me.
And you have.
I do. I have 2 children. I have a 10-year-old boy, whom I'm very proud of, and a little 1-year-old girl. I am just hopeful that she will not grow up calling me Grandpa. And I kid my friends when I tell them that by the time she is old enough to date, I will be so old I won't care. But I would like to share with you a little story about my son. The Brady Bunch was not a part of our evening ritual, so as a youngster, as a 3, 4, 5-year-old, he had never seen the Brady Bunch. But he did notice that when we would go out in public together, he and I, to parks or strolling along the beach or just out and enjoying life, that I would often get stopped. And people that he didn't know, and I actually didn't know, would ask me to sign things or to take pictures and things. And finally, it got to bugging him, and he said, "Dad, how come people stop you all the time and ask you to do stuff and take your attention away from me?" I said, "Well, son, your dad was on a television show, and many people watch that show, and I'm being courteous, I'm being nice, and they're like an extended family of mine." I still don't get it. I said, "I'll tell you what, I'm going to write you a song, and in 2.5 minutes, I can explain the entire Great Brady experience." And he said, "Oh no, you're going to write a song? Dad, all you ever listen to is all that old stuff. Like Eagles, and Orleans, and James Taylor, and Elton John." I said, "Okay, how about if I write this song in a style that I think even you can relate to?" Here are Brandon and Samantha Rose. May I have your attention, please? Will the real Greg Brady please stand up? That's me, of course, Barry Williams. Barry Williams, Barry Williams. Uh-oh, we're gonna have a problem here. You all act like you never seen a real Brady before. Bell-box, polyester, headbands, orange hair, was a real, hey, I'm just glad you're here. Here's the story of a guy named Greg Brady. Barry Williams, don't you know he was a real last time of his show? And go out and so prepared to send me. Oh yes, he did. It's the return of Johnny Bravo. Wait, no, wait, he didn't just say what I think he did he? And Mike Brady said, "Wait a sec, my friends, JB, he's not dead." Cindy Adams said, "Oh, I'm tired of him looking at him walking around wearing his tiki guy, surfing and wiping out. Yeah, but he's so cute though." It was cool for a while being a teenage star. Brady Nation can only go so far. I'm Greg Brady, yes, I'm the real Brady. Yes, the old Brady is indicated. So if you ain't Greg Brady, please stand up. Please stand up. Please stand up. Yes, I'm Greg Brady. His first surfing lesson. Please don't front you. It was so much fun making that show for you. Little right about two, telling you who's they knew. It was on TV, it wasn't real, just play. Back then we couldn't say I got Marsha in a way, or that my mom on TV was dating me. It was really far out of play. But any night you light up on TV, then you see someone and be trying to be me. Right, just be sure you know there ain't no show without me, Barry Williams, Johnny Bravo, and Casanova of Fifth Avenue. I got AKAs more than just a few, and I dig Eminem. Clark Bars too. I was the oldest kid. I was young and cute. I never do too, and I still did that too. Here to stay, and if you get in my way, you can go and see it when the sunshine day. Hey, I'm Greg Brady, yes, I'm the real Brady. All the other Greg Bradys are just irritated. So if you ain't Greg Brady, please stand up. Please stand up. Please stand up. I'm Greg Brady. That's not my wife. I gotta get out of this time warp. I don't know how I got stuck in this box in the upper right-hand corner anyway. You know, I was a boy band before the Backstreet Boys were born. I was a boy band by myself. You know what? I gotta go. Something suddenly came up. After all that, my son still doesn't understand it. I tried my best. Hey guys, come on, let's grab our chairs over here. We've been filling everybody in, but maybe you have a couple of questions that you would like to ask us. Take just a couple of minutes, and if you would like to ask us anything about show business, behind the scenes, being here, what it was like, what it's not like, it doesn't even have to be about show business. We'll take a few questions. Yes. My favorite song that I performed, well, let me tell you first what it was not. Clowns never laughed before. Starships.
What about Silent Night?
Beanstalks. I'm saying beanstalks. Big fat beanstalks never grew. That's for you, darling.
You guys have some history?
Okay, who else? Yes. How old are we, all three? Okay, now? Let me go first.
300.
I will go first. I'm 58 years old, and everyone is younger than me. I'm still the oldest. Should we leave it at that? Good. Who else? Yes, that was actually me surfing in Hawaii, yes.
The question was, what city did Brady's grow up in? Or were we
only
expected to live
longer than a Brady is a surfer, and we lived in.
They tried to kind of keep it a secret, but
Anytown,
finally,
USA.
in the last season, it was revealed that we did live in Los Angeles.
But it really was
For some reason,
anywhere
they didn't want
USA.
anybody to think that we lived in California.
Well, they wanted everybody to think that maybe we lived in the next town.
Yes, sir. Did any of us eat those? I'm going to tell you the truth. By the second day of filming, it was like a science project swimming on that plate. Under the lights and the food and the stuff with the meatloaf in particular. The turkey at Christmas,
I was going hungry at home, I ate it.
Before it's spoiled. Yes, sir. Yes. 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 Thanks. Asking us for the passing of Robert Reed. It was dialogue and discussion. Talked about making a television movie that incorporated his passing and why. And you're not going to see it because the network passed on it. What we needed was a new theme song. Okay, last question. Yes, young lady, shout it up. Here. Yes, you.
How fun is it to be on the Brady Bunch show?
How fun is it? What a great question. I'm glad I got. How fun is it to be on the Brady Bunch show?
It was a lot of hard work, but a lot of fun, because we all had fun with each other.
It was like driving onto Disney World every day.
True.
There were so many cool things going on there. Mission Impossible was there, Star Trek was there, Morgan Mindy was there, Mannix was there, Bonanza was there. We had Happy Days had just started up. Odd Couple was filming there, and we went and trashed every one of those sets. Okay, thank you very much for asking. Okay, now, hey, would you guys help me with this? I would like to find for each of you to find 10 volunteers who would like to learn the choreography and really show us their stuff with a chance to become honorary Bradys. Now, those of you that are selected by Chris and Susan, please be careful on these steps coming up. They're very steep. We have people to help you. Come slowly and make sure that you're safe.